hi-ho, the wind and the rain. The foolish thing was but a toy, for the rain it raineth every day. With a hi-ho, the wind and the rain, and the rain it raineth every day.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge for the month of June. It's been a while, been about a month. I hope you guys haven't forgotten about us. Had some, just family emergencies with my wife's condition and everything, but I'm glad to be back here with John, Henry, Maggie, and Bill to do impromptu Shakespeare performances for everybody here on YouTube. So, based on the randomly chosen order, let's see, Bill is going to go first, and I got to bring up the wheel to spin randomly and find out what he's going to perform for us. Give me a second to find the wheel. Okay, so Bill is going to perform. Okay, Shylock, Hath Not a Jew Eyes. That's Richard Act 3, Scene 1. Actually, that's the famous line from it, but I don't believe it starts with that. I think, something like he has accused me, and why? Because I am
something about a fish.
Yeah, you're right. To bait fish with all. You're right. That's how it starts.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, so whenever you're ready.
To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it'll feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? If you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you and the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Why, revenge. The villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction. See.
Okay, very nice. So up next we have let's see who's next on the list. Henry. Henry is going to perform, then I'm on deck. I'll perform after Henry does. Hamlet, or that this two solid flesh with nut.
And 2.
That's Act 1, Scene 2, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, got it. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew! Or that the everlasting hath not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter! Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world! Fie on it, fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this! But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not two, so excellent a king that was to his Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet, within a month, let me not think on't. Frailty, thy name is woman, a little month or ere these shoes were old, like which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe all tears. Why, she, even she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets! It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Okay, thank you, Henry. So my turn now. On deck is John. John's on deck, and then Maggie. And I see she's having some issues with her sound. I hope she's able to join us. But so myself, then John, and hopefully Maggie too. So I'm going to do spinning for myself now. Okay, this is the most Romeo and Juliet. This is really totally cold on this. One scene 3. Oh, here we go. Even or odd, of all days in the year, come Lammas Eve at night, shall she be 14? Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it. Of all the days of the year, upon that day, for I had then laid wormwood to my dog, sitting in the sun under the dove house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain, but as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dog, and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it tetchy and fall out with the dog, shake, quoth the dove house. Was no need, I trow, to bid me trudge. And since that time it is 11 years, for then she could stand alone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke her brow, and And my husband, God be with his soul, was a merry man, took up a child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward, when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Julie? And by my holidame, the pretty wretch left crying and said, I to see now how a jest shall come about. I warrant, and I should live 1,000 years, I never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel? Quoth he. And pretty fool, stinted, and said I. Okay, that was a major change for me. So who's up? John's up. John's up, and Maggie's on deck. Okay, we'll spin for John, and John is going to do. Oh, looking at Romeo and Juliet. The Prince.
Oh. Okay. Here.
Begins rebellious subjects, enemies of peace.
And that was one Act 1, Scene 1?
Yes, Act 1, Scene 1.
Okay.
The end of the brawl.
Okay. Okay, this will be a reading. I mean, I don't know that well. Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor's stained steel. Will they not hear? What ho, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of torture, from these bloody hands throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls bred of any word, by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments. To wield old partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part with your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace, for this time all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon to know our further pleasure in this case. To old Freetown, our common judgment place, once more on pain of death all men depart.
Okay, great. So Maggie's up. You got your sound working?
Yes, can you hear
Okay,
me?
great. We're glad.
My issue is that my laptop is out. I can't use it today. I'm on my phone, and to me it's going to be too hard to maneuver going to the online version, so I have my hard copy here. But when my piece comes up, please wait until I'm sure I have it.
At least you're able to participate. That's what's important. So
yes, I hope that's what's important.
You're so spinning for you now, and you're going to do. Okay, the Act 4 prologue in Henry V.
I can't. I have to tell you that print. Oh, here we go. Okay, Henry V, Act 4.
Now entertain and check.
Act 4. Okay, hang on. Oh, Act 4 prologue. Yeah. All right. It's going to take me a minute to find it. Henry V. Henry VI. Boy, it's a lot harder to flip pages than.
At least you've got the very, very beginning of the act, which makes it.
Yes, that will make it easier, but I have to actually, it's the history first part. Yeah, they're in a funny order in Riverside. So Henry V, 930. Okay. And it's right at the beginning of Act 4, you say. Okay, I have that.
Okay, whenever you're ready, go.
Okay. Now, entertain conjecture of a time when creeping murmur and the pouring dark fills the wide vessel of the universe. From camp to camp, through the foul womb of night, the hum of either army stilly sounds. And the fixed sentinels almost receive the secret whispers of each other's watch. Fire answers fire, and through their paly flames, each battle sees the other's umbered face. Steed threatens steed in high and boastful neighs, piercing the night's dull ear. And from the rents, the armorers, accomplishing the nights, with busy hammers closing rivets up, give dreadful note of preparation. The country cocks do crow, the clocks do toll, the third hour of drowsy morning. Proud of their numbers and secure in soul, the confident and overlusty French do the low-rated English play at dice, and chide the crippled tardy-gated knight, who like a foul and ugly witch doth limp so tedious away. The poor condemned English, like sacrifices by their watchful fires, sit patiently and inly ruminate the morning's danger. And their gesture sad, investing lank lean cheeks and war-worn coats, presented them unto the gazing moon so many horrid ghosts. Oh, now, who will behold the royal captain of this ruined band, walking from watch to watch, from tent to tent? Let him hear cry, praise and glory on his head. For forth he goes and visits all his host, bids them good morrow with a modest smile, and calls them brothers, friends, and countrymen. Upon his royal face there is no note how dread an army hath enrounded him, nor doth he dedicate one jot of color unto the weary and all-watched night, but freshly looks, and overbears arrayed with cheerful semblance and sweet majesty, that every wretch, pining and pale before, beholding him, plucks comfort from his looks, a largesse universal, like the sun his liberal eye doth give to every one, thawing cold fear, that mean and gentle all behold, as may unworthiness define a little touch of Harry in the night. And so our scene must to the battle fly, where, oh, for pity, we shall much disgrace with 4 or 5 most vile and ragged foils, right ill disposed in brawl ridiculous, the name of Agincourt. Yet sit and see, minding true things by what their mockeries be.
Okay, great. You made it work. Okay, so the 5 of us now, we got the scene wheel now. We're going to spin to get roles for the 5 of us in short scenes. Okay. Hamlet, Act 2, so there's 3 of us. So Hamlet, Act 2, Scene 1, Polonius, Ophelia, and Reynaldo. The scenes. All's well that ends well. The first scene, that's Parolles and Helena. I believe that's toward the end of the scene where she confronts him about his BS. Okay, so the five roles we have to choose from, and again we'll choose in reverse order from the order in which we perform monologues, are Polonius, Ophelia, Reynaldo, Parolles, or Helena in All's Well. So Maggie gets the first choice amongst those five. What would you like, Maggie?
Well, I didn't get the act and scene from All's Well, but I have Hamlet open, so I will take Polonius, please.
Okay. John, what would you like?
Well, let me try Ophelia.
Okay, John will be Ophelia. Okay, I'll take Parolles. So we have Helena and Reynaldo left. Henry, which of those would you like?
Helena, please.
Helena. And so the bill will be Reynaldo. So we'll start with Hamlet Act 2, Scene 1, and Maggie and Bill. I believe it's Ophelia. I believe it's just Polonius and Reynaldo speaking, and then Ophelia comes in. So you find that because I got to stage manage that. Yeah, so it's Polonius and Reynaldo, and then Ophelia comes in later, and when that happens, I'll add. Who took Ophelia? That's John. Okay, so then I'll add John when Ophelia makes actually the three just before I put you in now. But have all of you found the scene? You're ready to start?
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to check before I took you out, but I'll put you back in when Ophelia enters. So whenever you're ready, the two of you go ahead.
Okay. Give him this money and these notes, Reynaldo.
I will, my lord.
You shall do marvelously wise, good Reynaldo, before you visit him to make inquire of his behavior.
My lord, I did intend it.
Marry, well said, very well said. Look you, sir, inquire me first what danskers are in Paris, and how and who, what means, and where they keep, what company, at what expense, and finding by this encompassment and drift of question that they do know my son, come you more nearer than your particular demands will touch it. Take you as 'twere some distant knowledge of him, as thus, I know his father and his friends, and in part him. Do you mark this, Reynaldo?
Very well, my lord.
And in part him, but, well, you may say not well. But if he be mean, he's very wild, addicted, so and so, and there, put on him what forgeries you please. Marry, none so rank as may dishonor him. Take heed of that. But, sir, such wanton, wild, and usual slips as our companions noted and most known to youth and liberty.
As gaming, my lord?
Aye, or drinking, fencing, swearing, quarreling, drabbling. You may go too far. So far.
Oh, my lord, that would dishonor him.
Faith, as you season it in the charge, you must not put another scandal on him that he is open to incontinency. That's not my meaning. But breathe his faults so quaintly that they may seem the taints of liberty. Oh, sorry, just lost my point. And the flash and outbreak of a fiery mind, a savageness and unreclaimed blood of general assault.
But, good my lord,
wherefore should you do this?
my lord, I would know that.
Marry, sir, here's my drift, and I believe it is a fetch of wit. You laying these slight sallies on my son, as 'twere a thing of little soiled with the working, mark you, your party in converse, him you would sound, having ever seen in the predominant crimes the youth you breathe of guilty, be assured he closes with you in this consequence. Good sir, or so, or friend, or gentleman, according to the phrase or the addition of man and country.
Very good, my lord.
And then, sir, does this, does, what was I about to say? Oh, by the mass, I was about to say something. Where did I leave?
At closes in the consequence at friend or
closes
so
in the
and gentleman.
Oh, sorry. At closes in the consequence. Aye, Mary. He closes thus. I know the gentleman. I saw him yesterday, or the other day, or then, and with such and such, and as you say, 'twas a gaming, their o'ertookens rouse, they're falling at tennis, or perchance, I saw him enter a house of sale, videlicet a brothel, or so forth. See you now, your bait of falsehood take this carp of truth, and thus do we of wisdom and of reach, with windlasses and with assays of bias, by indirections, find directions out. So by my former lecture and advice shall you, my son. You have me, have you not?
My lord, I have.
Goodbye ye, fare you well.
Good, my lord.
Observe his inclination in yourself,
I shall, my lord.
and let him ply his music.
Well, my lord.
Farewell. Oh, how now, Ophelia? Sorry. What's the matter?
Oh, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered, and drive down to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous and purport as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors. He comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face that he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last, a little shaking of mine arm, thrice his head was waving up and down. He raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find the way without his eyes, and out o' doors he went without their help, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings as oft as any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repeal his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not coated him. I feared he did but trifle and meant to wreck thee. But beshrew my jealousy. By heaven, it is as proper to our age to cast beyond ourselves in our opinion, as it is common for the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which, being kept close, might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love. Come.
Okay, great, you guys. So now myself and Henry are doing the Parolles and Helena scene. I don't know if you. It looks like we do it from when Bertram and LeFew exit, and then it's Helena. Oh, we're that all. If you found you're in that place.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's just Helena's on stage for that, and then so I'll take myself out, and then you can start with "Oh, we're that all."
Oh, were that all? I think not on my father, and these great tears grace his remembrance more than those I shed for him. What was he like? I have forgot him. My imagination carries no favour in't but Bertram's. I am undone. There is no living, none. If Bertram be away, 'twere all one that I should love a bright particular star and think to wed it. He is so above me. In his bright radiance and collateral light must I be comforted, not in his sphere. The ambition in my love thus plagues itself. The hind that would be mated by the lion must die for love. 'Twas pretty, though plague, to see him every hour, to sit and draw his arched brows, his hawking eye, his curls, in our heart's table, heart too capable of every line and trick of his sweet favour. But now he's gone, and my idolatrous fancy must sanctify his relics. Oh, who comes here? One that goes with him. I love him for his sake, and yet I know him a notorious liar, think him a great way fool, solely a coward. Yet these fixed evils sit so fit in him that they take place, when virtue's steely bones look bleak i' the cold winter. Withal, full oft we see cold wisdom waiting on superfluous folly.
Save you, fair queen.
And you, monarch,
No.
and now,
Are you meditating on virginity?
I, you have some stain of soldier in you. You let me ask you a question. Man is enemy to virginity. How may we barricado it against him?
Keep him out.
But he assails, and our virginity, though valiant in the defence, yet is weak. Unfold to us some warlike resistance.
There is none. Man sitting down before you will undermine you and blow you up.
Bless our poor virginity from underminers and blowers up. Is there no military policy how virgins might blow up men?
Virginity being blown down, man will quicklier be blown up. Marry, in blowing him down again with the breach yourselves made, you lose your city. It is not politic in the commonwealth of nature to preserve virginity. Loss of virginity is rational increase, and there was never virgin got till virginity was first lost. That you were made of his metal to make virgins, virginity by being once lost may be 10 times found. By being ever kept, it is ever lost. 'Tis too cold a companion. Away wit!
I will stand for it a little, though therefore I die a virgin.
As little can be said't. 'Tis against the rule of nature to speak on the part of virginity is to accuse your mothers, which is most infallible disobedience. He that hangs himself is a virgin. Virginity murders itself and should be buried in highways out of all sanctified limit as a desperate offendress against nature. Virginity breeds mites, much like a cheese, consumes itself to the very paring, and so dies with feeding his own stomach. Besides, virginity is peevish, proud, idle, made of self-love, which is the most inhibited sin in the canon. Keep it not. You cannot choose but lose by it. Out with it. Within 10 year it will make itself 10, which is a goodly increase. The principle itself not much the worse. Away with it.
How might one do, sir, to lose it to her own liking?
Let me see. Marry ill to like him that ne'er it likes. 'Tis a commodity will lose the gloss of lying. The longer kept, the less worth. Off with it, while 'tis vendible. Answer the time of request. Virginity, like an old courtier, wears her cap out of fashion, richly suited, but unsuitable. Just like the brooch and the toothpick, which wear not now. Your date is better in your pie and your porridge than in your cheek. And your virginity, your old virginity, is like one of our French withered pears. It looks ill, it eats dryly, Marry, 'tis a withered pear. It was formerly better. Marry, yet 'tis a withered pear. Will you anything with it?
Not my virginity yet. There shall your master have 1,000 loves, a mother and a mistress and a friend, a phoenix, captain and an enemy, a guide, a goddess and a sovereign, a counselor, a traitress, and a dear. His humble ambition, proud humility, his jarring concord, and his discord dulcet, his faith, his sweet disaster. With a world of pretty, fond, adoptious Christendoms that blinking Cupid gossips, now shall he, I know not what he shall. God sent him well. The court's a learning place, and he is one
What one in faith?
that I wish well. 'Tis pity.
What's pity?
That wishing well had not a body in it, which might be felt, that we, the poor are born, whose basest stars do shut us up in wishes, might with effects of them follow our friends, and show that we alone must think, which never returns us thanks.
Little Helen, farewell. If I can remember thee, I will think of thee at court.
Monsieur Parolles, you were born under a charitable star.
Under Mars, I
especially think under Mars.
Why under Mars?
The wars have so kept you under that, you must needs be born under Mars.
When he was predominant.
When he was retrograde, I think, rather.
Why think you so?
You go so much backward when you fight.
That's for advantage.
So is running away, when fear proposes the safety. But the composition that your valour and fear makes in you is a virtue of good wing, and I like the wear well.
I am so full of business I cannot answer thee acutely. I will return perfect courtier, in the which my instruction shall serve to naturalize thee, so thou wilt be capable of a courtier's counsel, and understand what advice shall thrust upon thee. Else thou diest in thine unthankfulness, and thine ignorance makes thee away. Farewell. When thou hast leisure, say thy prayers. When thou hast none, remember thy friends. Get thee a good husband, and use him as he uses thee. So farewell.
Our remedies oft in ourselves do lie, when we ascribe to heaven. The fated sky gives us free scope, only doth backward pull our slow designs when we ourselves are dull. What power is it which mounts my love so high, that makes me see and cannot feed mine eye? The mightiest space in fortune nature brings, to join like likes and kiss like native things. Impossible be strange attempts to those that weigh their pains in sense, and do suppose what hath been cannot be. Whoever strove to show her merit that did miss her love. The king's disease, my project may deceive me, but my intents are fixed and will not leave me.
Okay. Great job today, everybody. I just before we sign off, I just wanted to mention I have. Does anybody have any announcements of their own of stuff that they're doing elsewhere on social media, stuff that they'd like people to see?
Well, mine's not on social media, it's live, but I'm just mentioning, just in case anybody might spread a word, I am appearing as Ross in a production of Macbeth. We opened Friday night, and we have 11 performances. So I thought I'd just say something. Thank you.
Okay, that's cool. If there's a link to where people can see that.
Well, no, there's not. It's live, but I didn't know who might hear and go, oh, it's in Escondido it's sponsored through an organization called Patio Playhouse.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Well, okay, Henry has an announcement too.
Yes, I'm doing a role in a short play in West Hollywood, the West Hollywood Pride month, and so it's I'm actually playing Parolles
Oh.
in 11th Night, which is written by Rex McGregor and is an hour before 12th Night. And so it's on June 24th and starts at 11 in the morning. It's just a 10-minute play in a medley of 10-minute plays about pride. And so if anybody wants to find that, it's in Plummer Park in West Hollywood, June 24th at 11 o'clock. I'm really looking forward to it.
Sure. Yeah, sounds fun. My announcement, and you may have seen it on my YouTube channel and elsewhere on my social media. I've been excited for like a couple years now. I've been working with some friends that I did community theater with on. They're creating this web series. A friend of mine, Vanessa, she's a wicked fanatic, and we all want to do Alphaba, but she's been doing this. It's a non-musical, but as a web series that we're creating of reimagining Elphaba's origin story, her college years, meeting Glinda and the others, and they're calling that Green Girl Diaries. We've been filming that over the last couple of years, and post-production stuff's been holding up, so I've been waiting a long time, but they're finally ready to launch June 20. I'm excited because this evening I'm leaving. We're at the viewing party just for the cast, but for open to the public, June 26th is when it's finally supposed to launch. It will be on Gargoyle Media, another YouTube channel, not mine, but on my YouTube channel. I'll definitely share the link to it about when that's posted. I encourage people to check that out. I'm playing a couple roles in that. I'm Dr. Dillamond and also Alphaba and Messerose's father. So
I saw that mentioned. Now, will you put the links on Facebook as well?
yeah, I'll share them everywhere, of
Okay.
course. And it's on all my social media, but the YouTube where this is streaming right now, I'm just mentioning to people, I'll also, even though it's a different YouTube channel, I'll share a link to that when it's available. But June 26th is supposed to be when we're finally going to have the first episode. It's going to be uploaded to YouTube, so that'll be fun. I'm going to see it. I'm going to see the preview tonight, but be available to the public on the 26th. So if there are no other announcements, I'll just say hope people will check out the stuff that I and the others who had announcements mentioned, and I hope you all join us again same time next week for the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge here on this channel on YouTube. Bye now, everybody.